Let's look now at ways that the risks of a successful claim by an employee can be managed. It is very important that managers within an organisation be proactive in dealing with claims. If a claim isn't dealt with proactively, what is a small issue can quickly become a big issue. Additionally, not dealing promptly with complaints or claims can create a perception that the claim isn't being taken seriously, leading to an employee escalating the claim and taking some of the actions that were spoken about earlier in the presentation, rather than the claim being able to be resolved locally. Can also, particularly with regards to workplace bullying, create a culture or a perception that the particular behaviour is tolerated, which again will potentially lead an employee to take matters further and external to the organisation. One of the ways that you can certainly reduce the risk of a successful claim is to have in place a sound process. In fact, I would say this is paramount in respect of any detrimental action or any action at all that you're taking in respect of a complaint by an employee or a problem with an employee, such as performance or conduct. And some tips on having a sound process is that if you have any defined processes, that is policies or procedures, follow these meticulously. So it's very hard to argue that you've acted reasonably if you have a process and then you deviate from that process and do something else. Keep the process formal wherever possible. If you're dealing with something serious like misconduct or poor performance, a formal process is the way to go. If you are meeting with someone to discuss a concern, meeting with an employee, give at least 2 days written notice, making it clear that a support person is welcome to attend any meeting. Any meetings that are held should be conducted by individuals about whom there is no perception of bias. By that I mean they haven't had a prior conflict or problem with the person that they're involved in the process with. Have an additional representative from the organisation present at any meeting to avoid any dispute about what was said at the meeting. Ideally, have the employee sign off on a written record of the meeting that's agreed about what occurred at the meeting. That way, in the case of a future claim, there can't be any debate about who said what or what was said or promised or not promised. Be frank and honest, but not aggressive or rude. In the case of a performance or conduct problem, be very clear in what is required to address that problem, what standard of conduct is required or what standard of performance is required, and set a clear time frame when those standards need to be achieved. Also, it's important to be clear about what consequences will follow if the issues are not addressed. If termination of employment is being considered, if it is that serious, you really do need to say so and put the person on notice of that, so that they cannot then later complain about being surprised or ambushed. It can be difficult to do, to have that franker discussion, but it really is important to be clear and transparent. Finally, make sure to document everything that is occurring with regard to the action that you're proposing to take. Document any meetings or interactions. One of the easiest ways to reduce your exposure in the event of a claim is to make sure that you keep very clear and comprehensive records. Keeping those sort of records will also help in making sure that any issues are closed off. Also, finally, I would say in managing or reacting to any claims, it's important to manage upwards. By that I mean involve your supervisor or the more senior members of the organisation so that they know what's going on. They can contribute to potential solutions, and collectively it is much more likely to be able to resolve complaints and issues before they escalate into the realm of a claim for unfair dismissal, adverse action or bullying or the like. I hope you've found today's seminar on the essentials of employment law for embassies, consulates and high commissions informative and useful. If there is anything within the seminar that you would like more information on, have concerns about, or just would generally like to discuss further, please do not hesitate to give me a call. I would be very happy to have that discussion and provide you with advice if required. Thank you.